And welcome to First Coast Living. I'm Casey DeSantis.
And I'm Charlene Shirk, in for Curtis as he does his man walk about the world.
We don't know where he is. We were just trying to get an update before the show started, but no one here has Snapchat. So we have to find somebody who has Snapchat so we can get a little inside perspective on where he is.
Is there a 15-year-old in the house anywhere?
I don't know. If we can find one, we'll get an update and see what he's been doing.
Glad to see you back.
I'm feeling
under the weather?
much better. Yes, it was one of those bugs that was just not pleasant, but I'm back. I'm like 98%.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Here you are.
I'm here. The lights are a little bright, but that's okay. Hey, some good news for our friends to the south of us. The Florida Keys, by the way, they're open for business once again.
Yes, this comes, really, you think about it, just 3 weeks after Hurricane Irma. Local officials called for today's official reopening based on the power being restored and obviously the need to resume the area's tourism-based economy. It's all about the tourists there. Traffic is once again flowing on the Florida Keys Overseas Highway, and the airline and the cruise ship arrivals have resumed into Key West. So certainly going to see a lot more than just the bars and things like that when you go down there now. I'm assuming you'll probably see still some of that damage.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And just some of those shots makes you want to get in a car and go down there.
It's so beautiful there. And I was so glad that the Hemingway house that did well.
Yeah.
I was worried about that, but man, that thing's been there.
Well, yeah, it's
forever.
Really tested time.
And the little, was it the five-toed cats? The five-toed cats?
Right.
That's the five-toed cats. Yeah, I saw when I was down the Keys. I saw that. It was very cool. All right, and to the west, they are already seeing some heavy snow. Believe it or not, we went from the nice warm Keys to the northern Colorado mountains and snow. They have seen snowfall up to 2 feet in some places already. The storm prompted highway officials to close US 6 over Vail Pass, the east-west route normally taken by trucks carrying hazard materials to avoid the Eisenhower Tunnel in the mountains on Interstate 70. I know when I lived in cold country, the minute the ice and the snow fell, and all the trucks were like, don't even come here. Snow was also falling in the mountains and the foothills just west of Denver.
Yeah, my sister is just to the east of Denver, and so I've been trying to check in with her to see if they're getting any snow. Beautiful. I like the warm weather, just going to say. However, I am excited for there to be a little bit of a decrease in the temperatures here. I think everybody is ready for a break in the action. Like over the weekend, we were just talking about the nor'easter and everything and all the wind and the rain. So really, what does it mean for our forecast? So Mike Prangley was gracious enough to come and join us to talk about what this means, if what we're seeing over out west, if this means we're going to get some cooler temperatures here, and one can knock on wood, as my mom would do all the time.
Hey, yes, here, Casey, you're exactly right, and good to see Char. And I got to admit, you know, they're giving massages upstairs to our First Coast News staff, so I should be sitting over there with you, but that massage was going so well, I just kind of said I'll just kind of walk in front of the chroma key and do the weather over here. But I do miss you. And as we take a look at our forecast, we don't need heavy rain for the king tide to cause some flood problems around the area. So even though we're seeing cooler temperatures, we still have to keep our guard up. Here downtown, there's a couple roads you can't get around because the water's so high, okay? It's time of high tides that we're worried about. So what the king tide is this time of year, it's a phenomenon in autumn and spring. It only happens a handful of times where there's a bigger pull on the tides between the moon and the sun, okay? Even the sun controls the water on Earth. So because the moon is very close to the Earth at this time of year, and when all these are all lined up, the sun, Earth, and the moon, you get these unusually high tides. Then you combine that with that wind, and Casey, you were talking about that breezy weather. It's actually going to pick up today, all right? So keep that in mind. So along the beach, at the river, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. So what that does, so it traps the water. We know about the king tides. Tides about 2 to 3 feet above normal, so some roads will be impassable. And this is mainly a street flooding phenomenon from St. Augustine to San Marco to St. Augustine, Palatka, and Fleming Island. And this looks like it'll be in our forecast through Thursday, okay? So not expecting heavy rain, just be careful. The old saying, turn around, don't drown.
There you go.
On that note, thank you, Mike. Dun, 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 dun.
But at least you figure it out, because Charlene and I had a conversation for about 20 minutes before the show started talking about all of the weekend weather, and now we just know what's causing it.
And it's so windy, and when we went to walk this morning on the beach, there was no beach. It was just all water, and then it was so windy, and I said to my husband, I go, well, when we go to Hawaii, we spend a lot of money for this breeze, so let's enjoy it while it's here in our own backyard.
I just hope on the tail end of the breezes, obviously I hope the beaches are okay and everything, but that we get some cooler temperatures.
I know, you keep, it's just
like
been
the
humidity.
fourth time I've said that.
It's been the humidity. humidity that's been this summer.
That's what they say. That's what Floridians
Ugh,
tell people. It's
been
not the heat, it's the
awful.
humidity.
There you go.
There you
Backing
go.
them up.
Anyway, either way, I just would like to be a little bit cooler. Okay, so remember this season's winner of America's Got Talent. Remember Darcy Lynn Farmer? She captivated viewers with her ventriloquism talents. Well, her rise to stardom has also put a spotlight on a mother-daughter team who helped to get her there.
The duo who created Darcy's puppets is getting a lot of attention now from the public. Reporter Rachel Lucas visited them, so here's your take a look.
Darcy Lynn! The singing ventriloquist who captured America's heart and the America's Got Talent crown. Darcy Lynn Farmer, the 12-year-old girl from Oklahoma.
Well, I would like to introduce you to my new friend, Oscar.
Her famous stage partner, however, got his start in Salem.
You kind of feel like you're part of Team Darcy.
I get nervous when I see them perform, but just like I'm the mother, you know, watching my child up there.
Meet the team behind the scenes, mom and daughter duo of Matt Puppets in Salem, Melissa and Marianne Taylor.
And we were just thrilled to death that Oscar got to be on camera with Darcy.
We got excited, and we were encouraging all of our friends to vote and all of that. And it wasn't because we made the puppet, it was just because we love Darcy.
While you won't see a storefront in Salem, their creations are widely known internationally in the ventriloquist world.
And I think a lot of people, even who know what we do, don't quite realize the global reach that we have. You know, I'd say about half of our business is international.
We kind of fly under the radar, and we just enjoy going out to our office and clipping foam and making the puppets, and have no problem with the others getting the limelight.
Characters you probably already know. Matt Puppets have quite the famous clientele, including Darcy's idol, another singing ventriloquist, Terry Fader.
She's going to be one of the greats. In fact, I think right now she already is one of the greats.
Most famous, however, Jeff Dunham. Matt Puppets creates his partner, Peanut, multiples at a time.
So it's really up to each ventriloquist to bring these puppets to life. And she tells me she works with each one to custom design their features to really give them that sense of character.
I love making them and seeing other people bring them alive.
A full-time business for the duo that's now made one of their clients a millionaire.
I'm so thrilled that we can make a product and they can make a living and support their families. That thrills me.
That is pretty neat. So they make around 30 puppets a year. I have no idea how much they cost. I'm sure that they're not cheap, but they're, as you heard right, known throughout the world. By the way, if you are interested in auditioning for next season of America's Got Talent, you can go to agtauditions.com. You can submit a video there. They're going to be going to 9 cities across the country. Guess where they're going to start?
Jacksonville?
Close. Orlando.
All right.
Okay,
close enough,
so close
yeah.
but no cigar. So
right.
Orlando, Florida.
Drivable.
And
It's all drivable.
No,
All right.
November 5th, if you want to go down there and be a part of that.
Well, if you think you had a busy week, check out the nursery at a Kentucky hospital. These are just a few of the 6 sets of twins born here in just 1 week. That is a record for this hospital in Paducah. That's got to be a record for all hospitals. 12 babies in all, 4 boys and 8 girls. All the babies are doing well. Their parents say they feel like they're part of now this exclusive club. As for the nurses who work at this hospital,
a little chaotic, but it's exciting. It's exciting for us to get to experience that with the families, and the families getting that joy as well. So everybody gets the opportunity to be doubly blessed.
Yeah, one rule in this exclusive club: naps.
Naps.
Everyone must take naps.
If you can get it while you can.
For babies and mamas and daddies, everyone must take naps.
Yeah,
that's the club you want to be in.
Oh yeah, my sister, and you schedule, right? Because my sister had twins, and so they had that scheduled down to the minute. Otherwise, they don't sleep.
Nap.
Nap, exactly. Whenever you can, fall asleep.
All right, so I don't know if you heard the news yesterday. I know I heard it on the radio and I went, what? Who did they say? Unfortunately, rock icon Tom Petty has passed away.
Yeah, the musician, singer, and songwriter passed away yesterday after he had an apparent heart attack. NBC's Kate Snow takes a look back at the 66-year-old's career.
Was an American legend. Tom Petty had just finished a 40th anniversary tour with the Heartbreakers last week, the band that first soared to the top of the charts in the 70s. In the 2007 documentary Running Down a Dream, he talked about how music took hold of his life.
When I was 13, the Beatles came. In those few minutes, when they hit the Ed Sullivan Show, it all became clear, you know, this is what I'm going to do.
He would become one of the best-selling artists ever. In the mid-'80s, Petty played with Bob Dylan at Farm Aid. That led to a worldwide tour.
It was just one of those gifts from God. When we were both thrown in there together, it was some sort of electricity came from the combination.
Then came the supergroup, the Traveling Wilburys, alongside George Harrison, Roy Orbison, Jeff Lynne, and Bob Dylan. Dylan told Rolling Stone, "It's shocking, crushing news. He was a great